Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mondo Cool Podcast, episode 9. Mondo
Cool!
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Mark Lane, a.k.a. SunBlackKid87. We out here live on Twitch every Tuesday, 9 p.m. PST.
Hey.
Tune in to our boys.
Yeah.
And today we have a great announcement for the man to my left.
Happy birthday!
Wow, yeah, it's my birthday, everyone.
Woo! I do that all day.
Birthday Rike.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Birth Rike.
Birth Rike.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, Birth Rike!
Birth Rike. Thank you.
How does it feel? I mean,
How do you feel?
24 is a like weird age.
24 is a really...
You're just kind of like,
And 25,
another year.
Tupac died.
Wow.
I should have said that. Be real.
Don't.
Tupac died at 24?
Spoilers.
Stay woke.
Spoilers.
I think Biggie died
24?
at 24, though.
Yeah.
Yo,
Biggie
Pac
died.
fuck Madonna?
No, Pac died
Madonna?
at...
Hold up.
No, Pac died at 25.
Okay.
But I think Biggie died at 24.
Biggie died at 24.
And Jesus died at 33.
So the real question here is whether I'm going to be a Biggie or a Pac.
Right.
When am I going to die, folks?
Ooh,
It's either
not
Biggie
this
or
year.
Pac.
I'm on that trajectory.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
No.
Oh man, Mother Mary.
Jesus Christ. And on the right, we
Oh,
can't forget
hey.
about the other man.
Ooh, hey, I'm sorry for doubting.
Man's not hot.
My name is Austin Dodge. Hello, I'm dressing up grime for this one. Skadoop boop 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 bop.
Tim
You know what I mean?
Westwood TV.
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.
Grind boys.
Shit's good.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
So let's dive right into this with our new tracks of the week. The
New
hot or
new
not
tracks.
segment. I told Austin before the show, but I'm trying to turn our tracks into the hot or not segment. So
Ooh.
after we kind of talk about the new song, I want y'all to have your first opinions on whether or not you think the song is hot or not.
Other thought, and I don't want to spoil the new title, but feel free. We could vote on this. We could either go with "It's a track" or "It's a whack."
Ooh.
Other idea, but we'll just keep hot or not for this week.
All right.
But we'll see. We'll see what the fans say on all the massive amount of tweets they send us after the show.
Of course.
As usual.
So the first track on our topics today is Ski Mask the Slump God's new track featuring A$AP Ferg and Lil Yachty called No Tilt. I'm gonna say it first. I think it's pretty hot. I mean, no
nice.
surprises here. I fucking love Ski Mask the Slump God. And him and Ferg and Yachty are just like a match made in heaven, especially him and Ferg, because I feel like
I think Ferg and him are definitely
kindred
very
spirits.
They're
Yeah.
definitely very similar types.
So they just work perfect. I'm ready for the collab. Like,
I can't wait.
They work perfectly together. And this song, the beat's wild with the like crazy.
It's equally as wild as them. They're like very wacky people.
Both
like,
have crazy ad libs.
Yeah,
Just-
crazy voices, crazy flows. It's just like crazy. I mean, then you have Lil Yachty, who's just weird.
Yeah.
So you got. It's just like definitely like also just like other than being a banger, it's like a unique banger. Like
Yeah.
remember, as opposed to like
Critical.
Just, there's like almost like a generic type like structure to most of these songs,
Right.
and I feel like just by putting those two dudes in, even if the beat's kind of normal and it's not, it's just already weird.
Right.
Like no matter what, there's gonna be a couple lines there that you think about and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
did
man.
they say?
Just because they're just so off the wall. I mean, oh my god. Like, Yachty has a couple standout bars for me on this one.
Like
he
what?
had the one where he's like, he has the one where he brings up like a really good point that like talks about him being attacked and about a lot of the beefs that we'll get into later too. But he's like, we're all making money. Like, why are you so tense? And I'm like,
Ooh.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
Yachty is just spitting truth here. He's just being a positive guy, and he has to deal with all this negative, all these beefs coming at him. And he's like, yo, we have like crazy amounts of money being thrown our way. Like, where
Why
is
are we
all this?
fighting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, why are these beefs constantly coming out? So that one stood out to me. Ski Mask,
Absolutely.
always. I mean, everything he says and his flows are wild.
Absolutely.
I love Ferg coming in with his like the classic like woo. Like where he does like a line and he has the woof.
Yeah.
But that one was great because he has the part where he's like hop on the track and poop, and then he get the poop ad lib, and I was like it gets me every time.
It's funny.
But it's just a fun, amazing track. Has me excited for all of them and what they're gonna do. Especially Yachty, not to take the spotlight away from Ski Mask, but I feel like
for sure.
Yachty has like the most to prove right now
Agreed.
out of all three of these people on the track. And I feel like he delivered, so I was happy with that, as well as this just being a good all-around song from everybody.
Yeah, I feel like it was really exciting to hear Yachty be good again. Like, I mean, not that his album was, like, absolute the worst thing, but it was
Right.
not good.
Right.
It was not what the people wanted, and I feel like he's got the biggest recovery hurdle right now as far as, like, getting the people's trust back. Because so
Right.
many people were like, Team Yachty, this album's going to change everyone who doesn't get its mind, and then it didn't. So like he's got a lot to prove, and he really came back nice on this one. And then again, real quick, because we have another Yachty. He came out with another song coming up soon. But Ski Mask and ASAP Ferg as a combo pairing is fucking amazing.
Because they also have that other song, I Love Your Auntie or whatever. That's over the Missy beat. That's great.
I don't know why, if I mentioned this or not, but like I thought that always like Ski Mask was like a wackier ASAP Ferg, who's really wacky.
Yeah, and
so it's like the fact that they're together seems almost like duh.
Right.
Like I'm not surprised they would. I'm glad they found each other.
They're perfect.
I think also Ferg is pretty tuned into like SoundCloud rap and like those kind of
SEO rap.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like through Playboy Cardi, I don't know who he would meet him.
I mean, I think both him and Rocky right now are really getting that like vibe that Yams had, where Yams was just this like A&R genius of just finding all these like legendary artists who all have like come up through him. So I think they're trying to like continue that legacy that Yams had, and just they're just like working with a lot of these young guys and just like keeping that spirit of like putting people on that Yams is like very known for. Because it's like I thought Yams was just like you know, with ASAP and everything, but I've just like learning about more of the underground artists. I've just learned like a lot of them are like Yams did this for me, and that's how I got started. Like Yams, it's just like a reoccurring thing that like Yams was just like putting on all these people, and I didn't realize that. So I think they're trying to keep that going for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like ASAP Ferg and Slump God both got amazing ad-libs. When you combine them, it's just chaos good.
I mean, between...
It's good.
Water and
Water! Lickety, lickety, lickety. Lickety, lickety, ooh!
Like both funny and high.
And like both, like you know it's coming. Like,
yeah.
So...
Yeah, man. Good content.
Speaking of Yachty's comeback, you're right.
It's a good...
It's a track.
It's a track.
It's a track.
It's a track. And that's the facts.
And that's the facts.
And speaking of Yachty's comeback, he has been working with Father for a nice little freestyle track called Dreamboat, and with production by the god Melty Cannon, who's proving to be Father's like Metro Boomin at this point.
Yeah, dude.
But
Melty Cannon likes Call the Cops too. Just a thing to know.
Just a quick shout outs to us.
Quick thing to think about.
Really? That's crazy.
He listened to it on Rabbit. Carly sent Melty Cannon Call the Cops on Rabbit. Legitimately said he fucks with it.
That's cool.
Which is exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
We love you, Melty.
We love you, Melty Cannon.
Hit us
Huge
up.
shout out.
I'm gonna hop in your DMs later. But yeah, so nice little. I love this track. I'm gonna say it's a track. Shit's hot. I'm loving Father and Melty Cannon, just like their style. I think Melty Cannon has this like amazing sound of just combining your classic trap sound with like music that sounds like it belongs in like a 90s video game soundtrack, and it's just this like awesome vibe that Father is thriving on.
I think beyond that, it's like even like it's like a fun kind of like
you get that like goofy upbeat piano.
Still,
it's like a Kirby video game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like more so than anything.
Yeah, like it's not like Final Fantasy VI.
No. It's like Mario, like type of like those catchy tunes that are like upbeat, and then you can just hear it repeat.
Right.
Which I think that kind of makes sense, right? In theory. Actually, I'd never thought of this until right now. But video game music is designed to be like played on loop,
right?
Like a same melody over and over again. That's true. So like almost that transfer into hip hop makes sense. I like literally never thought of this until right now. This is crazy. I just realized this. Yeah. It's like that makes complete sense because it's supposed to be repetitive and played over and over again, like the Mario theme, right?
Absolutely.
Or Zelda or whatever. But like, yeah, if you transfer that into hip hop, like like you can, if you get like a catchy tune like that, it's gonna kind of, especially using those type of instruments, it's gonna remind you of that.
Absolutely, yeah. And jumping on just like talking about beat aesthetics, if that's the term.
Beat aesthetics.
Even going back to the other song, I don't mean to go back, but like that, there's this really interesting like trend I'm noticing, specifically in like the Slump God community of that sound, where the like, have you noticed this? It's on I Love It When They Run, I think, where the like sample before the loop like starts off really quiet and gets progressively louder, and then cuts completely. And they did it on this song previously that we were just talking about. I love that aesthetic, like having the beat like almost drop as completely as it just gets louder and louder until it drops again and keeps going up. And I'm really a fan of that sound right now. Beats are really nice right now.
we're in a really nice like production renaissance, and we're also at a point where producers are starting to get a little bit more credit and
which is sweet,
respect, which is dope as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's crazy if you think about it, because like we started like hip hop.
That's true.
Is at the beginning where the producer and the rapper were like both named as a group, and then they would come together and they'd be on the album together.
Right.
And then it was like, actually, I remember I read an article that like Nas's album specifically, Illmatic, changed everything.
Yeah.
Just because the fact that like before it always be like the same dude producing the whole thing, so that like you'd always know who that person was. Their name would be right there. But Nas specifically for Illmatic got different producers for every track.
Yeah.
And that was like the first big hit where the people realized like, hey, we can just get different tracks and still make a good album. So since then, it's kind of like been this crazy thing where like producers haven't gotten the credit they deserve.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can just go to whoever. And
yeah. And I think they are getting more credit, but still not enough. I think a lot of the movement, like the modern movement of like trap music and whatnot, I think a lot of it is credence to the producers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
More so than the rappers, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think like Metro Boomin had more to do with it than like, even though I like Migos, like I think they like specifically him and his sound is what like pushed this.
Right.
And like definitely the amount of respect they deserve should be way more than what they have.
No, 100%.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. For example, Zaytoven throws his name in as many times as he can for anything he produces, and I actually like it.
Yeah. So, producer tags are crucial right now.
Quick example of producer tags and how critical they are. Playboi Carti actually recently went through and took out a ton of producer tags from his SoundCloud music, and I'm actually really disappointed because it sounds less good, and the songs just aren't as exciting without the like silly shit that was in there before. I missed the damn son. Where'd you find this? Why'd you take that out?
Yeah,
it sounds like ASAP influence, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I agree. Like, even though like I'm not the biggest Playboi Carti fan, I think part of the fun of it is like the fucking absurdity of Playboi Carti. Like,
yeah,
how, like fun, like ridiculous.
If this ain't the hottest thing smoking, you must be out your
goddamn
mind.
Dude, that shit is so goofy.
It's gone.
It's like, yeah, if the fact is gone, it's pretty disappointing.
That's what drew me in. I was like, well, this guy's playing with some fun, and it's sad that it's gone. But overall, Father X, Lil Yachty,
really dope. Sounds
it's like a fun back and forth between them over a neat beat. That's what basically what we said over this 5-minute review.
It was good. It's a track.
It's a good track.
It's a good track, and I can't wait to see what Father does next.
But next is my favorite thing.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god!
Just launch right into this.
You go for it, man.
This fucking Young Thug Carnage song is the most crazy song. I don't give a fuck who you are. Go watch the video of it. It's so insane.
It's nuts.
It's a combination of the beat and the fucking video, which is like so far 2017. I think probably like one of my favorite videos.
Definitely
top 3 maybe. I haven't thought of all of them yet, but like definitely this is one that's sticking out in my mind. And I watched it like 5 times.
It's so good.
Both for the song and also the video, and it's just like oh man, it's like all the things I like about Young Thug, like just like his willingness to be weird and to do like wacky voices, like his Cookie Monster, like
the Fat Albert flow.
The fat Albert flow. That's exactly what he fucking does. It's so fucking hype, and it's just such a like also just like with that church organ sound.
Yeah.
But it's like looped and not like that. I feel like that can almost sound like pretentious almost, just like it's like I'm looping into an organ.
Yeah.
But it just sounds fucking crazy and hype at the same time. So I think it's like this amazing mixture of experimental and like hype enough to like you can play it in a club or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's like really exciting, and I love that because I want more like just different things in like hype kind of like party music.
Right.
And I'm excited to see like Carnage and Young Thug working together and making that happen.
Yeah, well, they will be working together quite a bit on this new EP project of theirs called Young Martha.
Ooh.
And I'm excited. It should be dropping semi-soon. I forget what the release date is off the top of my head. But
Young
Martha. And I think it's going to be really awesome. And I think Carnage is doing the right thing as a guy starting off from making EDM trap and now going into regular trap. I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and now he's creating these bangers. He sounds great.
EDM is hype in just nature. That's like the point.
And so just transferring it to it like where trap is right now, he's just killing it. I mean, he has that song with Lil Yachty, Mason 93, and it's like the hypest song that Lil Yachty's ever been on. So it's just like.
Lil Yachty sounds great on too.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't think he'd sound great on a song like that?
The one where he's in the grocery store wilding out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He sounds great on it. Like I don't know what amount of. He clearly puts a lot of effort and time to make sure like these beats are tailored to whoever rapping.
They're for.
Yeah, but while at the same time, I don't know. He has like a style, I guess. It's hype, but it's also not necessarily like. Not like what you would maybe it's EDM influences. I don't know. I don't listen to enough EDM to know. Mark does.
That's the other podcast.
I'm a connoisseur. I know everything.
Yeah. That's the Wednesday podcast.
Peep my other podcast.
EDM time.
EDM boys.
EDM baby boys. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just his perspective or whatnot that I think is just so exciting, and it's still like it's the tracks themselves are hype.
And they bring a lot of energy out of the artist rapping.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like fucking. I think Young Thug when he heard that was just like, oh, this is like a beat that sounds different. All right, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I'm going like, crazy on this.
Yeah, because he brought up the Harambe Fat Albert voice. Harambe meaning from the song Harambe.
Yeah.
Right. From.
Rest in peace, the monkey.
Yeah, not Harambe rapping like that. But yeah, he is. I've always liked that song just because like. Yeah, Young Thug specifically, the fact that he can just change his voice so much. He's such an incredible artist who's just so conflicting being a fan of just like the amount of innovation he's ushered into.
And just like, you never know what he's going to do
but
next.
It's also just trash. Like, it's just like a combination of things.
He's everywhere, man, and I'm just respecting like a lot of the different things he's willing to try and willing to do and willing to present to the table. And this one is a great example of his innovation working out well. I'm excited to see what the rest of the EP sounds like.
Meek Mill song.
Yeah, Meek Mill sounds great on this.
Yeah, he's 58. There's like 30 seconds of him, and it's perfect.
It's like great. I was like a good dose. Perfect song for him to scream on, which he normally does anyway. So I was like,
except on the diss track.
Yeah, I know. It was very quiet.
The one song where it would be cool if he screamed on it.
But no, he's doing his own thing. Shout outs to what he's about, I guess.
I would tell you, this is a sidebar, but I was in a lift and this girl was playing Meek Mill, and she was just playing it. And I was just like, oh, okay. I was just listening to it, and I was just chill. And she was just like, hey, do you like Meek Mill? And I was just like, to be honest, like since like the beef between Drake and Meek Mill, like I was just like, I don't know, I just lost interest in him. Like Drake just bodied him to the point that. I'm not saying he's a bad rapper or anything, but it's just like I just have no inclination to listen to his
It's
stuff.
really what's happened.
Yeah. Just like I mean, he could be good, but like it's just weird. I just don't feel like an interest.
Yeah, I feel like Meek Mill is just weak still after that whole experience.
I like also just her reaction to it was just like, really? He's great though. And I was like, okay.
I bet.
My thing was
who else do you like? Is what I like.
Yeah, right.
Who else do you like? And it would have been a bunch of dumbass shit.
As a writer, I didn't want to like just shit on her music taste.
Yeah, no, for sure.
To quickly like harp on that, like is my thing. The reason why that beef killed it for me was just like the fact that like he started the beef and like he went through all this shit and just like was so lukewarm after like Drake's response that I was just like, ugh, it just like made me question. As like a human being, I was just like to just come that hard at someone and then have them like body you and then just have
arguably
nothing.
The biggest rapper right now.
Yeah,
like most, like at least ascending in popularity for sure.
Yeah,
because when this new album came out, I was like gonna start trying to get into him, and then he did that, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
like, Meek Mill attacked Drake during his prime. Like Drake's prime is over.
Yeah,
like Drake is still good.
He's in his pop prime,
but his pop prime. At the moment, it could come back. Who knows? But at the moment, after More Life, right now he's just almost like a resting phase.
Right.
But he hit him during like peak Drake, then like forever. Like Hotline Bling was like fucking everywhere. He released what was it? If you're reading this, is too late. And then like fucking just the fact that happened was the most convenient thing to Drake's career because it just fucking launched it to like the stratosphere where it's like untouchable. Yeah. Like, it just was like, you cannot fucking mess with me.
I feel like it legitimized Drake for a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought of him as the soft rapper. So,
Dude,
it was nice.
Yeah, for sure.
but someone you can't call a soft rap for.
Facts.
Maxo Cream, Trapper of the Century, out here with a new song featuring the hot boy Lil Uzi Vert, and this time they're taking their song to Mars.
You might as well.
It's a nice little track.
From an outsider, like I didn't know who this person was.
Okay.
I don't know Maxo
Fetty on Fetty on Fetty.
Yeah,
and I listened to the song. I was like max volume on my speakers.
Max volume.
And like I just by accident and just started, and I'm just like let it keep going. I was like, this is a really great track. Like I could dance. Like this is like a really fun, nice track.
Yeah.
And I did like when I went in my car, I was like, I kind of want to listen to it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I looked it up on Apple Music, wasn't there. I looked it up on SoundCloud. It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
Because of World Star. But like, just to say, like the point that I liked it was that I wanted to listen to it more in the car while I was driving somewhere.
Right.
So, and then I checked out his other stuff on Apple Music, like the song we released like 2 weeks ago that we didn't talk about. It's called like 90 something.
I missed it.
It was a couple numbers.
Okay.
Like I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
but that song was actually I think better.
Okay.
But both songs I think are really catchy and really fun. I think he's a great rapper. I think he has some really fun bars, and I don't know, he just says some stuff that I'm like, I don't know, it's just simple, but I connect with it more.
Yeah.
More so than like some other dudes. Like I feel like he's more relatable. I don't know.
Well, to hop in as someone who's like a fan, so Maxo Cream first caught my attention on Playboy Cardi's like one of his like huge huge hit. Fetty.
Fetty on Fetty.
Fuck.
Yeah, and so he's the last guy on that song.
Cream.
Oh, okay.
And I remember hearing his verse and being like, who is this guy? And so he just kind of came up with a bunch. He was at Danny Brown's concert as one of the openers, and he just kind of like...
Wait, so we watched him?
We've seen Maxo
Whoa, I see this guy live?
That's why I thought you knew him.
That'll
I was
get
like,
you.
you don't know.
Holy crap, I didn't remember.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I probably liked him there, I just forgot.
It happened to be a slump
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
I saw him live.
You've seen this man live.
Wow, him and Loopers.
Yeah. I think Loopers just distracted you. He was the only opener you could think of.
Loopers
was,
was a lot, guys. Wow, look at his music.
But Maxo Cream, Trapper of the Century. He's just a man who's like, obviously there's a lot of artists talking about trapping, but Maxo Cream is one of those people who's like very real. Like, this man is playing zero games, and he just has this level of authenticity, but he also has a very unique style in terms of the way he raps, the type of beats he raps over. One of his debut project, the Persona tape, not based on the RPG.
Is it based on the fucking movie?
No, but I actually don't know where the Persona part comes from.
It's just like the word, maybe. It's a cool word.
Yeah, but the production throughout is really awesome. He's great. So I'm excited for him.
Tell me he's not Ingmar Bergman.
He's probably a huge Ingmar Bergman fan. But this song stuck out to me because it's a different style from him. This is probably his most like pure poppy, like pop rap, I guess. Is the more like just like a catchy song from Maxo Cream with the help, of course, of like a Uzi Vert chorus.
Did you ever listen to the other song?
I guess I gotta get back on that.
Oh yeah, that song I thought was pretty poppy too.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very catchy song. So I think perhaps he's going for that sound in general.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think it's like an interesting move, and I think he's handling it really well. And I hope that it propels him even more because he's a little slept on right now. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about him, but he's really good.
I feel like he's slept on, but I also feel like he's sleeping because I don't think he's putting out enough to be like awake.
He just has the Persona tape, which did well-ish.
I like to look for like new music, and I don't find Maxo Cream coming into my like.
Well,
ever.
Here's the thing. Context. He released the Persona tape, went on tour with Danny Brown, and in the middle of the tour, the Danny Brown tour, like maybe 3 stops after we saw him, he got caught up in a court case. So then he had to deal with that for a little bit. He's back, and now we're seeing more cases.
Long story short,
drug charges, like gun possession.
Oh, okay,
something like that.
Classic having a gun,
like a trapper problem.
Yeah,
like nothing crazy.
I'm gonna a quick note. This is literally just for Jared, but I think I said Ingrid Bergman. It's Ingmar Bergman. Come on,
that's good.
One's
make sure our film buffs in the
one's an actress and one's the fucking director. That's and I always make that mistake.
Right.
But sorry.
But yeah, he got caught up in some trap issues. But he's back now, and that's why we're getting more music again.
Good.
Also, crazy story. His family was trapped in Hurricane Harvey because he's a Houston resident. But his fans banded together and rescued his family outside of the hurricane.
That's so nice.
Isn't that dope when your fans come through and like help your family get out of their like stranded home?
That's really nice.
What dope was as hell. Who saved like this dude's entire family? Was it Kristen Bell that saved like this dude's entire family?
No way.
Was it Josh Gad? I forgot.
I didn't hear about that one. That sounds
crazy. It was a really wacky thing.
What songs do they have?
Yeah, have you watched Frozen?
I actually haven't. I skipped it on purpose every day of my life.
Well, you know who didn't skip Frozen?
Man,
Lil Dicky out here dropping a new single featuring everyone's favorite Lil Dicky feature, His Brain. His Brain coming through after the success of the Pillow Talking track and everyone loving Brain's appearance on that song. If you haven't heard it, it's a 10-minute long song about a guy's conversation with a girl post-coitus. And it's
coitus, what's that?
It's when a man and a woman love each other
very much.
But yeah, so Lil Dicky, probably one of the only
Lil Dick. I'm sorry.
The only comedy rap. I mean, he's forming a new genre.
That also gets away with it.
Yeah, and he's managed to get on XXL Freshman as the comedy rap guy.
Wearing a bathrobe. Mm-hmm. Man, I usually feel like comedy rap is just C-rap crap, and he's like one of the few that pushes through and like
he gets away with it.
He maintains. I'm always on the fence because I feel a little weird, but
what did you think of this track?
I thought the song was fun. I feel like I want to hear more of The Brain.
Right.
Just because I like that vocal style from a man who just does a lot of parody rap.
Because I do think that The Brain is like a good, I don't know if I want to call it a gimmick, but I mean, it's kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good one. It gets me. Like, all the quotables from this song come from The Brain for me.
Yeah.
Like, the part where he's like, brain get head in the ski lift. Brain cold if so facto. I'm like, wow. He's got a head. That's why he's cold.
I get it.
I was like, wow.
I get
it. The Brain coming in with the powers here.
Man, pinky up for The Brain.
I don't know where I fall, Lil Dicky.
But that's the thing.
It's hard.
I'm on the same page.
Here's my thoughts on Lil Dicky is that the way his rapping works with the comedy style is it kind of forces him to be hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because you're either gonna fuck with the concept of the song, think it's funny, and also appreciate the bars, or you're gonna hate the concept and you're just not gonna like the song.
Facts.
And that's what ended up happening with me with his debut album. I was like, some songs I really like, and some songs I don't ever want to hear again.
I like the Money song.
Yeah, certain songs.
That's crazy. That song was on
liking that concept.
That's a big song.
Mm-hmm. So
I think sometimes a little bit it edges on bro rap.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of I'm not in a negative way, but he almost feels like the modern Asher Roth.
Right.
Or
wow. Yeah.
No, 100%.
Asleep in the bread aisle.
And
more jokes though.
More jokes. But sometimes but he had some serious songs the wedding girl song.
Right.
That was emotional
and stuff. And I don't know. It's just I remember specifically in his original album, he was just talking about this is even my good shit and stuff. He was mentioning. And I'm really interested to see what he thinks his good shit is.
Right.
And I will listen. I'm interested to see. But right now I'm just dude, I don't know what your goal is right now. And I think it's just his persona and the way some of the interviews he's had, I'm just I don't know what he's trying to do.
Right.
It just seems this weird mixed message where it just seems he's using rap just to fucking go off and be a big actor and comedian. But at the same time, he wants to produce the best rap album ever.
Right.
So I'm what are you really trying to do here, dude? I feel almost his intentions I just need to figure out, and so maybe I can appreciate him more.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm just very confused.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Where I'm just kind of I kind of like it. Sometimes I don't. It's very just on this point where it's just hit or miss for me. Sometimes he has a track and I think it's hilarious, or I think he's funny. He can clearly rap regardless. But sometimes it's just he'll have a song that's just
you can rap.
You can rap. I don't fuck with what the joke is, and it just ruins the whole song. It has no replay value for me, and so right now I'm just having trouble figuring that he'll have a project where I can listen to all of it. You know what I mean? Because just based on how his style is.
I think in theory, his style is just average guy,
right,
bro,
every man problems.
I mean, he still rides the bus in real life.
Yeah. Wait, what?
He rides the bus still in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our buddy Zach's run into him on the bus all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude rides the bus still, which I think is like he doesn't have to. So that says something about his character.
Yeah, I think like his album was #1 for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. And he did like Uzi Vert numbers. Like he did over 100,000 album sales.
And I know like it was the Money song was on the radio all the time.
Yeah,
I would hear it. We lived me and Mark lived like next to like a club.
Commercials
called like Wonder Bar. Mm-hmm. I hear the song all the time from that club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Enrique and you as well with this guy. I feel like I just can't like nail down his intentions and what he really wants to be with rap, because like he'll come out with a track with Snoop Dogg where he's like legitimately being like, man, I really want to do this whole thing different.
Mm-hmm.
And he like that, I believe him. I totally believe him. And then he comes out with a song like, I don't know, I had sex with a girl, then did something bro-y. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's a YouTube parody. Like, I feel like he's either like a guy who's like legitimately saying something, making a funny joke, or making a YouTube like sketch.
Yeah.
And like I can't figure out where he like really wants to land.
The intention, and it's not like an interesting thing. It's just like, hey man, I don't know if you're here for the art or here just because you're funny and you want to go do something else.
Just wants to be a part of it.
If you want to be funny, then be funny and then move on to movies.
Right.
Like if you want to make art, but just make a decision.
Right.
Like if you want, so then I can judge you based on that. But you can't just like, I mean, if you want to, I guess you can put your hands and everything. But like, I don't know, just be
it's weird in terms of like the context of an album, because like when you have like a song like Professional Rapper and then like Let Me Freak on the same like song,
right?
It's
That's
just
where
like
I'm at.
You got like a real rap song and then you have like what, like you said, like a
YouTube
good YouTube sketch.
I feel like the songs themselves should be I think like with No Put My Eagle, he would hate to be compared to Lil Dicky.
Right, exactly.
But just like a person who's like funny and serious at the same time, and is I think often within the same song. And I know he like Lil Dicky doesn't do that as much. Like one where it's just kind of like he'll address a serious topic while being like having like kind of like introspective kind of stuff, jokes. And I think perhaps striking that balance is where he should land.
Right.
If he wants to. And I mean, he's also obviously had way more than enough of success being doing what he's doing. So like, I don't know. Just like for me personally, that's what will make me enjoy Lil Dicky more.
Right.
Real quick, you want to say something important before I say something
stupid?
Before
you talk about Mr. Cat trying to turn up over there?
Mr. Cat just licked my Coors Light. Is this guy trying to get off the shits?
He's trying to get bucked. He's like, it's Enrique's birthday. I'm trying to turn the fuck up.
Did Mr. Cat just try to drink my Coors Light?
He might have.
Someone's got to clip that. All right.
But, moving right along, I snuck this one in here. Another Mark likes, the borderline of R&B, soul, hip-hop.
Fuck. Here we go.
Sid dropping 3 new tracks in the form of a little EP called Always Never Home. And it was great to the point where I, wanted to talk about it. And it's just Sid being really good and just really having this, resurgence from just that one member of Odd Future that was behind the DJ booth and occasionally made music to now being a really good Grammy nominated artist, and that's just making really good music.
She's Grammy nominated for the internet, right?
For the internet project, right?
Yeah, for the internet. But she's just killing it. I mean, 3 solid tracks that I think are definitely worth hearing.
Not like that means anything, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, a Grammy's a Grammy.
Fuck Grammys.
Yeah.
Man, fuck a Grammy.
But she's getting attention and the critical acclaim that she deserves.
She deserves.
And I'm just happy for her. I just thought these were both, nice little songs.
Both? There's 3.
3. I thought all 3 of these songs were really good.
You forgot about one.
Oh, right. I'm blowing it. But I enjoyed this EP a lot. I'm excited to see what she's going to do next.
I listened to this twice, and it was really great background music.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't give it the due time. I feel like I should have listened in more. I don't know. I try to, but it was just a really great. I know we've said this before about other music, but I feel almost these 3 tracks are the best background music.
Right.
It's just these very melodic, very nice, and her voice is great. And then just the content of the songs were all kind of lovey songs.
Yeah, they all does kind of
forlorn, distant.
It does have a connection of just being away from someone or breaking up.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why she decided to make it an EP, because the 3 songs are kind of related, even though it was just 3 songs.
I was very I would go back just to have that. I enjoyed having that experience.
Right.
More so, I wouldn't necessarily say some other albums were that. I would say this specifically was something that I would enjoy having a background on. I could have that while doing something else, but I could also listen to it. So it functioned as both. Well, where some other albums like that, like I don't think like Lil Uzi Vert. Like sometimes people like say it's good background music. It's like too much.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
it's not background.
Yeah. They say that sometimes like those type of artists are good background. And I was like, no, that's not. Like this is good background.
Right.
Not in a mean way, but also like
I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
I think it's like walking music. Like I could put this on and just walk somewhere, and it's just like a very
vibe out.
Yeah, I could just vibe out. It's a very good vibe music.
Man,
for sure.
Yeah,
but speaking of genre-bending music,
real quick though, can I say something about it?
Oh,
too?
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure.
It's all good. No, I love Sid. I really like the internet a lot. I feel like you nailed it in the sense that like a lot of what they create is like background music. At least for me, that's what I use it for when I'm trying to do something else. Like the Purple Naked Ladies album, or Purple Naked Women. I can't remember.
I think it was Purple Naked Ladies.
Ladies, right? Yeah. That's what I thought. Ladies. But I remember I fell asleep to that thing like constantly senior year of high school. So just to see Sid like still doing things is critically exciting. Yeah. And that's all I gotta say. Sid's good.
Sid's great. And shout outs to her.
Genre defying though. You're right.
But yeah, speaking of genre defying, we have I Love McConan dropping what really is just a pop punk song. I mean, it's really difficult to call this song a hip hop song other than the fact that I guess it's Mike Will Made It on the beat, even though the beat
freaked me out.
Sounds like a band.
Wait, stop the presses. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Mike Will made that beat?
Mike Will Made It.
Mike Will made that beat?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
that's crazy.
It just sounds like a band.
Guys, just stop this podcast if you're
It's over, yeah.
Go listen to that song. And that's crazy. That Mike Will
like it's not like it's hard to call it a hip hop. And I mean, I think it's interesting because either
so
last
week. Ray Shrimmer is on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. But I think it was either last week or the week before that. You were talking about how we're gonna get more of this emo genre of music, and now we have this song that's a pop punk song, and it's like, do we still call this rap? Like, what's up with that? But anyway, the song's out, and at first I was just kind of like, wow, this is weird, and I was just like so thrown off about the sound and everything. But I think after like about the third listen, I think I just kind of like the song. It's just catchy in like a pop punk kind of way, and it's just like a fun, ridiculous song that's out there.
I think like remember when we talked about like Lil Uzi Vert, and like kind of like that kind of trend of like emo music and stuff like that. I think this just falls in that trend. It's just like more of it. It's just like a regular.
I think you 100% called it.
Also, the fucking fact that like like I was telling when we said at that party, like that type of music is what like that they mosh to. Mm-hmm. The fact that I Love McConan is moving into that direction, I think just further proves my point.
Right.
Like we're seeing a resurgence of this type, and then I Love McConan saw that, and then he was like, "I was gonna make a song like this," or Michael Made It did. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, McConan's hanging out with Peep a bunch. So.
Yeah, that makes
that's also my big point here.
Yeah, that's also going to have an influence.
Yeah, I feel like Peep and many people are subtly influencing the entire game at this point to like bring your emo side out, get that pop punk attitude going.
You put EXO Tour Life as like the spearheaded song, right? Like that's like
I think mainstream wise, that was the one that broke through the hardest.
That's what I'm saying. Like spearheaded meaning like the one that
made it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I hated this song. So I don't know. I agree with you, and I love emo pop punk shit right now in hip hop. I think it's one of the most exciting things to happen, at least for my ears. Like I really enjoy this emo ass sound that's coming out of hip hop. But this to me was absolute garbo.
Why was it garbo? I mean,
trash.
Well, it's interesting just compared to like.
No, I think
I have a hot taco after you're done.
I'm excited. I'd love to get this hot taco going because, man, this thing about this song was like I saw all the intentions. I saw everything it was trying to be, and to me, it fulfilled none of those things. And I would love to say why.
Yeah. What was it trying to be to you? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, which I was gonna say is what it was trying. It's all good. What it was trying to be was like jumping on the bandwagon of emo pop punk trend right now.
Okay, cool.
It is exactly what we were saying it was trying to be, but unfortunately to me it was trying to be that. It never fully committed or was, because like you can't make a sad song like this and then Ray Shremmer's literally like doing the Carlton smiling like, ooh, we're really feeling emotions right now. Yeah, look how much fun we're having. Ooh, I'm on the beach wearing my Pharrell hat. Mm-hmm. Whoa, like, man, this shit was like trying to be what I'm enjoying right now. Mm-hmm. And it felt very fake, fabricated, and wannabe Lil Peep / pop punk / a lot of things that it just wasn't. I felt nothing listening to this song, and I have a lot of empathy. Mm-hmm. I love McConan. Love McConan. I hate this song.
This might be like a weird point from my end.
I'm excited.
But the point is that there is a lot of the big pop punk songs I would throw into weird fabricated like that exact same tier.
Totally.
Like there is a mixture. Like I mean, oh man, this is such a fucking horrible comparison. But like you'll take like something emo like Nirvana. And let's say, even though I don't like Lil Peep is Nirvana, right?
Yeah.
It's like, let's make that connection.
He has Cobain songs
like
constantly.
They're literally the most offensive. I think so many people will get mad at me saying that.
Right.
Even though I love Nirvana, I don't like Lil Peep that much.
That's fine.
But
he has songs called Cobain. It's a part of his thing. Yeah.
And then you get like a Fall Out Boy or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this was more that
Fall Out Boy, which I don't fuck with.
This is the Fall Out Boy.
Wow, right. That's a great comparison because I don't. Yeah.
That's where it fell kind of for me. And I do like Fall Out Boy to like. It's like I do like catchy melodies. Like they get to me. Like Lil Uzi Vert. Like some people don't like the lyricism, but like I enjoy the catchy melodies. And I feel like that's why I kind of enjoyed this song.
Right.
But just because like I was like, oh yeah, it's catchy.
Because I think
there's like a consumer part of me that
right.
just like enjoys that.
Because what happened with me was I was just kind of like let me just get into my hot taco here. For me,
please
let's get this taco.
Real quick, you said it perfectly. I couldn't agree more.
For me, I feel like this song came on and I experienced like reverse gentrification.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow.
Like
Jesus. Whoa.
Like
what a
like all these.
Wait, everyone.
That's what?
Let me throw this in. The fucking hottest.
The hottest
taco.
I tried to tell you.
That's a word that will create like 4 articles.
That's right. This
Mondo cool.
That's what's gonna launch. That's what's gonna launch us.
Is that a thing?
So listen.
Can't talk about reverse gentrification.
I'm gonna pour the Coors Light on the mic.
So listen, I've gone through the early 2000s being like, I don't get pop punk at all.
Wait.
This is annoying. They're just making generic statements about love. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you have McConan and Ray Shremmer do it.
Exactly.
Copy and paste a Fall Out Boy song. And I was like, oh, I get this now. I was like, oh, I get white people.
Man, that's
all right.
I don't think
it's like an amazing song, but I was like, oh, now I get pop punk.
I would say it's more cultural appropriation.
Yeah, well, yeah,
right?
that's right.
Than gentrification.
Right.
Is the word. Yes, that's what you're trying to say. Yes.
But yeah, I can't. Yeah, I guess in a sense that does. It's so funny.
But
yeah, it's so good.
Because I was like, oh, all right, like this is what like the pop punk movement was about.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, all right, I get it now.
Man, when you said you compare it to Fall Out Boy, I could not agree more because I feel the exact same way about Fall Out Boy. I cannot connect in the slightest to any of the shit they're saying. They're like generic phrase about love, whatever. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So it was really cool for you to be like, you comparing it like that was exactly what I agree with. But like, it's funny, we just have different tastes and feel feelings differently, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That was fun as fuck.
That's my hot take.
Yeah,
that was a hot taco, brother.
This is a pretty wacky track.
Hot taco.
White people had their culture appropriated on that day, and it was wild.
It needed to happen.
But yeah, let's get into the hip hop news report, and let's go through some of the crazy headlines that happened in the past week. Starting off with the fact that A$AP Rocky has now created his first official line of vape pens called the Flocko Jody.
I'm just gonna say boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is both a stupid
I got a point
thing
here.
to talk about. What's your point?
I got it.
What is it?
You go first, because I want to hear your thoughts.
No, I just think this is a dumb thing to talk about. It's just a fucking vape pen.
No.
Right?
Why though?
More than that.
What is it? What is it? Tell me more.
I legitimately believe this is more than a vape pen.
What is it? Tell me. I really, because I go.
So here's the deal. I have been saying this for a damn second. I legitimately think A$AP Rocky is trying to position himself into a place of being the next Snoop Dogg figure of the new generation. And let me get through this in the sense that Snoop Dogg would randomly hang out with a fuck ton of people. Snoop Dogg is just in so many videos, being everybody's uncle, everyone's his nephew, and we're now at a point where A$AP Rocky's doing the same. He's just showing up in videos for fun. He's been in the Tyler What the Fuck Right Now video. He's been in the Uno the Activist / Playboy Cardi What video. He's literally just hanging out with the youngins so he can be relevant. Similarly to how Snoop Dogg does it. Snoop Dogg was one of the first people to come out with a vape pen. You know who's doing the same? A$AP Rocky. He is following the formula.
Also showing up in movies, A$AP Rocky.
Who's that?
A$AP Rocky.
Exactly. I think he wants to be the next Snoop. He wants to be the uncle to all the youngins of SoundCloud generation.
That's a fucking really smart move.
But like,
it's brilliant.
It's a great.
What is this market?
He's the smoking guy who's gonna have a podcast on YouTube at 40. And that's what it's gonna be.
But what is this market they're tapping in? Because everyone and their sister seems to be making one. Ghostface has one. Yeah. Snoop has one.
There's a shitload of money in it. Juicy J got papers.
Oh, who's buying these vape pens?
Everybody. No, here's the thing. I almost bought the Snoop Dogg one, and that's just honest facts. So when you go to a dispensary, you see all the products. You're like, am I gonna buy generic randos or am I buying the A$AP one? You're buying the A$AP one. The weed industry has so much money in it, and no one's tapping it. It's like back in the day we had soda. I don't know, you want this soda or this soda. Then we got Pepsi, Coke, Mr. Pibb, whatever.
Were you raised in the 1940s?
I wasn't, but I was.
What the fuck is this point?
Let me get to it. I was raised during the weed revolution in the sense that back in the day, 5 years ago, when you went to the weed store, you just bought weed, whatever the fuck it was. Now you're buying Mr. Blank's weed. It's similar to Coke, Pepsi, whatever. There's brands in weed now.
Yeah.
And to jump in before it's like actually a real nationwide thing, you are putting your foot in the door of a shitload of money. And that's that. It's a huge smart business play. I bought the Juicy J papers.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
I did. They're the same price as the other ones. Why wouldn't you buy them?
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna support an artist.
At the same time, I would support the artist. But yeah, if I was I was giving an option on vape pens right now, and there's an A$AP Rocky option, like before I probably would have gone with the Snoop Dogg.
Right.
But now I pick up the A$AP Rocky because A$AP Rocky's a little cooler to me. Like I said, like Snoop Dogg's cool, but he's old, right?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Like A$AP Rocky's like that's new, that's fresh vape pen.
See.
So
and that's why I brought this up. See how crazy this topic got? Because I was just like, I just needed to know why. Like, why is this happening?
I just like, maybe we should just switch to stupid news.
Oh man, I love it.
We get really hype about it.
I love that shit, man.
Like fucking a vape pen coming out.
That's funny as fuck.
Oh man, we should put a fucking picture up for the people. But it's like this wood grain
beautiful
pen. It's wild. It's
so was Snoop's. Snoop's was gold. Oh like it's all about class and elegance. Yeah, it's funny as fuck. They're having a good time.
All right, real quick right now. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but I don't know who the next person is. So you guys can just talk about it.
All right, let's get it. This is like the field I'm trying to get into. Let's go.
Here we go. Me and you, Austin. Let's break this down.
Absolutely.
For the people, there are two artists kind of at the cusp of really blowing up right now, and their names are Trippie Redd and Tekashi 6ix9ine, and they both happen to be on the same label, Strange Music. However, they just can't fully seem to be along, and I'll kind of break down the beef for you. Basically, Trippie Redd, after working with Tekashi 6ix9ine and seeming like they were going to be fine, has just kept kind of poking the needle at Tekashi 6ix9ine, bringing up old allegations, just kind of throwing little jabs at him, and no one's really sure why. He just kind of keeps doing it. But basically, the two have been going back and forth at each other on Instagram, and I'm just kind of annoyed because I really like both these artists.
Right,
I feel like
me too.
Tekashi 6ix9ine's really interesting, really exciting, really for the culture, doing a lot of great things on the side of his music. And then you have Trippie Redd, who's just like making this really awesome music. And I think if he doesn't fuck himself over, because it's probably going to be where like Uzi is in another year or two. So he's like on a good trajectory, but they just keep having these really petty beefs. And especially, I'm just going to say it, I'm really on Tekashi 6ix9ine's side on this one. Because Trippie Redd's just coming off as really petty. Every Instagram, he's just throwing out mean insults, just going ham. And then you look at like both what's going on in their lives, and it was literally like this night and day moment where I had like two articles pop up.
A night and day moment about day and night?
Yeah, about day and night. So over the weekend, two things happened. On Trippie Redd's side, he got in a random brawl with like some unknown rapper at Day and Night Fest. And it was really just, pandemonium, classic hip-hop beef rap shit. And so then, on the other side, you have Tekashi 6ix9ine in his hometown talking to underprivileged youth in his own neighborhood and literally handing out like $100,000 to like help these kids. And it was like talked about it, had like a bunch of stuff. And it's just like you have like one kid helping out his community and then one guy getting in like a fist fight at a festival.
Come on.
Yeah.
Enrique's very caught up.
And then talk about the Trippy taking off the Tekashi feature.
Yeah, talk about that.
So Trippie Redd's just been enticing this really petty beef.
That's fucked up.
With my boy, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
No, that's not good.
And
this is the shit I actually care about a lot.
Yeah, and...
Me too. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. We'll talk about ASAP Mob next week. It's all good.
But Trippie Redd coming in and oh my God,
I'm joking.
And,
I'm sorry. I think I broke.
Everyday struggle. It's everyday struggle now.
Yeah, it's everyday struggle.
You guys were talking about it, I came back and I just started fake enjoying.
But Trippie Redd's just been coming in and just having real petty beefs with my man 6ix9ine. And
petty.
My man 6ix9ine is
petty
just coming in.
Petty on petty on petty.
My man 6ix9ine has been handling himself very well. Like, even when he responds to Trippie Redd's Instagram posts, he's just been like, you know, I respect you as an artist. I respect what you do. And, like, I don't know
taking the
why
fucking high ground.
you have to do this when we're both on the same label. And
absolutely agreed. Man, I just think it's really exciting that, like, the visually scariest rapper right now
is like the friendliest. Yeah,
this guy's wearing the HIV gang jacket, and you're like, man, what the fuck is that? Later, you find out he's just trying to support like HIV awareness and raise money for shit to like save people's lives.
Yeah,
but he's also making videos that are scarier than fuck. I love this guy. He's got over 269s tattooed on him. Turns out, good man.
Donating $100K to his community.
Exactly, Trippie Redd. Being one of the few features on the X17 album that just came out, which in association, you're associating with a bad man. Turns out you're also a bad man. It's a bummer, because I think Trippie Redd's got a lot of talent, but if you're going to beef with Tekashi, you're like fucking with the wrong guy.
And you're on the same label.
And you're on the same like team. Like you're on Underground SoundCloud
Which doesn't send a good precedent for future
You're just being a goof.
Fucked up.
Fucked up. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
And then our next topic, which I'm sure Enrique will have a lot to say about. Jaden Smith's new antics. You thought he was going to have a new song? You thought maybe he was going to announce an album?
The most interesting thing about this is Mark's reaction to it from like a Facebook post perspective.
Yeah, that was wild. We can get into that.
Go for
it. You do not know about this?
No, this is the thing that I'll just sit back and chill.
So our friend, Willie.
We gotta make the announcement on what it is.
Oh, okay.
So Jaden Smith is going to be starring in a new anime series directed by
Ezra Koenig.
Ezra Koenig, the front man of a band called Vampire Weekend. Sure, you all know about it.
Very hip hop.
Very, very hip hop.
Great on Twitter. That's how I know him. As someone who doesn't listen to Vampire Weekend, great Twitter.
But yes, Jaden Smith will be voice acting in an anime premiering on Netflix pretty soon. Next week,
along with a bunch of other famous people.
So many famous people.
Like
Susan Sarandon, Ben Schwartzman, Desus and Mero, everybody. Desus and Mero.
I'll say point just a pre to the story.
Right.
A lot of the publications didn't mention the fact that's a parody.
Right. Which made it very confusing.
So this is what caused... So our friend Willie, tagged us in a post with the fucking the video and an article, and it says new anime parody from Jaden Smith and Shokonik.
Right.
And everyone's just writing stuff, and then Mark's confused. It's like, why? It's like this voice acting is really bad.
This voice acting, a whole lot of things were pretty bad.
People are shitting on it. So
really.
I'm like, hey guys, I don't know, guys, it's a parody, so it makes sense. The voices are bad and stuff. It's probably because they're making fun of it. And then both of them are like, well, man, yeah, it makes sense. Wow, it's crazy. And I was like, guys, I don't know, to be honest, the article says it. Why didn't you see it? And then Mark went on a series of posts where he's like, where the fuck does it say it, Enrique? And the thing is, Mark, when he looked on his phone for it, didn't show Willie's original article. He would only remember the Fader article he saw.
Well,
right? It's a parody?
That's
it's a parody.
I didn't know
because Fader reported it as not a parody. Blativity didn't post it.
Right.
AV Club didn't post it as a parody.
So, I'm not even in the anime world, and I thought it was real.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I didn't even bother to look at what the description of the article was because I already read I already seen 4 articles talking about it, and none of them said parody. So I was just like, oh yeah, he's talking about the new Jaden Smith anime, and I was just like, here's my thoughts. And then I was like, oh fuck. So then that was like adding a crucial element to what could be a really funny anime.
Mark was like, "Where the fuck does it say that?" I was like, "On the art," and then somebody else said, "On the article, Mark."
And my phone's just like setting me up for failure because I keep going to like the notification to like respond to the comment, and it just sends me the comment list. So I'm still not seeing the
article.
Post.
Literally said anime parody being made.
It was
like,
so hard.
In the title of the thumbnail.
That's amazing.
Like you would see it.
And it was just like awkward because I still haven't seen the post yet, and it was just like rough. Damn. But yeah, Jaden Smith's new comedy parody anime coming out soon. It's gonna be fucking something.
That's buck wild.
Could be for the culture, could be a hot mess. Who knows?
I don't know whether it's gonna fall within like great like Girl Chan and whatever the fuck, like the Ego Raptor shit.
Yeah.
If you ever watched that, but that's like the perfect anime parody, I think, almost like the template.
For sure.
And it seems so excessive, like watching the trailer, that like I feel like it could reach those points.
It could. It seems like.
And I don't follow. I know you follow Ezra Koenig on Twitter because you mentioned that earlier.
Great Twitter,
and he's very funny.
The best Twitter.
He's very funny, right?
Not the best Twitter, but he's very funny.
Is he very funny?
Very funny. Actually, like quality comedy, so not like bullshit.
I don't, but like the fact that he's a very funny dude just gives me hope.
Actually,
like,
funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was a part of Vampire Weekend when I followed him. So that says something. I thought he was in the weird Twitter world because he really is legitimately in the weird Twitter world. He interacts with like Leon and all the fucks that like are having a good time on Twitter. I didn't even know he was the lead singer of that band until like years into following him.
Oh, is he the lead singer?
I don't know if he's the lead singer. I don't know anything about his musical career.
So I've actually listened to Vampire Weekend, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I missed
I think the first 2 albums I listened to.
Okay.
I don't remember. The most recent one was like I think it was like really Catholic or some Christian or something. I don't remember anybody. It's okay. I don't know. I remember there's a track where Heems, Danny Brown, and somebody else rapped over Danny Brown. Rapped over a Vampire Weekend track, and I thought it was a pretty good track. I thought it was pretty fun.
That sounds wild. That's very hip hop.
Shout out to Danny.
Yeah, that was really sick. That was a really good one, and I remember one year like that Vampire Weekend album was like the big album, like everyone was talking about. And I listened to it like halfway through, and I was like, "It's okay." Like I didn't go back.
Yeah.
And,
I just couldn't.
If that dude, I don't know if he's the front man or where he falls within it, but if he's actually like funny like that, like I could see like that being a really cool thing.
Knowing that he's on it, it might be actually funny.
Right.
But I don't know because I'm not really in the anime culture or world. So
you think you're gonna tune into this one?
I'll watch it if it's on. But
from you just saying what you just said, saying like you thought he was a weird Twitter dude. And he was really funny. That's like a lot of hope.
He's actually really funny.
Yeah. He also appeals to you. Like that means that this dude's actually, and the fact is weird Twitter. That means like he can appeal to specific demographics, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So like anime is a specific demographic. Certain trends, stereotypes, etc. So somebody who can understand said things, I think, could make a really funny thing. I'm excited. I think Jada Smith starring in it, like in theory, if you're making a satire, hilarious. Like it's so funny.
I think so. I think it'd be amazing.
It's such a goofy because he has like no emotion. Like he's the least emotive person. He's the most stone cold, just like average voice.
Oh my god! And I can't wait for him, knowing that pretense. And I'm pretty pumped actually.
That's really cool.
It's coming out in like 2 weeks. Yeah, that's how Netflix
September
does shit.
22nd.
Shout out
Netflix. So I guess we'll review it on this.
That's cool.
We could. Well, I'm very down.
I mean, if we talk about it,
it's only 6 episodes. Yeah,
I'll watch it. We'll watch it together.
It'll be our first anime review, Mondo Cool.
Yeah, hip hop anime.
Let's get into Andre.
Speaking of rappers doing interesting projects, Andre 3000 pretty lukewarm on rapping again. Acting again, however, he's ready to go, and he has a starring role in a new sci-fi movie with Robert Pattinson about a group of prisoners being sent on a suicide mission to the black hole.
What the fuck?
The film's called High Life, directed by Claire Dennis.
Mark was wary before putting this in the news, but I asked Mark to put it in.
This is an Enrique one.
Yeah, because it was just so fucking crazy. Just talking, hey guys, I wonder if that was in this sci-fi movie with Robert. Do you know the guy from Twilight? or even if you were artsy Robert Pattinson. Oh yeah, from Good Time. Or the fucking David Cronenberg movie. Well, him and Andre 3000 made a space movie that has the most generic plot line possible. like it. I don't know. It's like, oh fuck! It's just such a weird thing. Where just like there's like these people who I just wouldn't expect to ever be together, just suddenly happening, and it's hilarious.
Well, I think we also have to just reflect on Andre 3000's film career as a whole, because it does sound like crazy, but then you also got to remember he's in a movie with Mark Wahlberg, like The Rock,
Four Brothers.
And, like, yep.
Okay. The Rock is in Four Brothers?
No, but he's also in what is it? Be Cool
Brother.
with The Rock and Matthew Perry. So it's like when you think of the movies, Andre 3000.
Sorry, I've seen Four Brothers. Is Matthew Wahlberg in that?
Mark Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg. Matthew.
Believe so.
Is he? Is he
Man,
it's one of them. It's like
Mark
Wahlberg,
I don't remember. Ben
Affleck.
The only person I remember that movie is Andre 3000.
And Tyrese is in it.
I saw it in theaters. It was like one of those weird.
Man,
let's see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what this movie's like.
Yeah, all I gotta say about Andre 3K is I feel like everything he touches is specifically done so. He doesn't just pick up things for fun. I feel like he chooses his projects with intent. And I feel like Andre 3K being a talented dude who doesn't like saturate himself.
Yep.
This could be really sweet.
Yeah, I think.
But I also haven't seen his other movies.
I feel like a lot of people didn't like the Jimi Hendrix movie they made.
Oh, Jimmy.
Missed it.
That All My Side, I think was what it called. It was made by the person who, I'm pretty sure the person who wrote 12 Years a Slave. No, my bad. The Wrestler. I don't remember. It's one or the other. I can't for some reason.
Both wild possibilities.
Right, both of them I know. One of them is for a fact, and I can't look it up right now. But I saw the movie, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought just the majority of the hatred towards it was just the fact that it was like Jimi Hendrix before like the hype parts, which I thought was just really interesting. And I thought Andre 3000 was great, and I think he seemed like Jimmy, and he like fucking practiced a lot to be like talk like him and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I thought it was also just like a really fascinating choice to make a movie like that.
Right.
So there was a lot of hate. Just like that and fucking, what was it? It reminded me of like the Ang Lee Woodstock movie with Dimitri Martin. Where, I mean, I don't know if it's spoilers, but they kind of like cut through Woodstock. It's all before and after.
Okay.
And people got mad about that because it's like the part that everyone cares about.
Right.
But like, I thought if you didn't think about them in that way, I thought they were pretty decent, like interesting movies. And Andre 3000, I thought, did a great job in it. So I think he's a very capable actor. And he picks interesting projects. Like picking a project where he plays Jimi Hendrix before all the hype. There's literally no licensed Jimi Hendrix music in that movie.
Wow,
isn't that crazy? Like he picked a movie
not
like
even
that.
the national anthem one.
Yeah,
that
like
was good.
National Anthem.
That's a good one.
That's a good.
The one from Woodstock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like just none of that is in there. And
that's crazy.
It's all before like the big. I forgot. I can't remember specifics, but there's like a specific festival. I think in like London or the UK they played that like launched before Woodstock.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, he picks interesting projects, and even though this sounds perhaps a little generic, I think he can. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think it's fun to see. Like I will actually watch this just because he's in it. Just because I think Andre 3000 being in something is interesting, no matter what.
You don't think they'll let him be like the cliche like black character in a group movie where he'll just talk
shit? I
shit
think because he wasn't
and
that,
be silly.
He wasn't that in Four Brothers, right?
That's true.
Like I think he's always gone against that, so I'm really interested. I don't think he would ever fall in that stereotype either.
That's true.
Like he's too him. Who's not that?
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah, so I don't think he'd let himself be thrown in that.
I don't think he's capable. He could do it. I guess.
I think he could do it. I don't think he.
But I don't think he wants to, and I think.
That's true. He's always the weird character in like every movie he's been in.
Yeah, and he. I mean, arguably, like, be honest, like one of the best rappers ever. Like top 5. Like
one of the most talented
rappers. Like literally one of the most talented, one of the most memorable. Like I think there's very few times like somebody in a group can like be the point like they're the greatest of all time. I think he's the only one where like you're like even though he didn't have technically a solo album, you could be like he's one of the best.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's beyond underappreciated, and it's specifically because he doesn't have like solo works. Like I wish he had.
I love Below technically, but he doesn't rap that much.
I
don't know, man. I just want, anytime he does anything with Frank, I'm hyped. I'm jumping out the chair.
He's good.
Oh, it's going.
I think anytime he shows up on a song is good. Like I've gone through all his features
and his outfits during tours and shit. Where he was wearing the different statement outfits. That was massive.
That was classic.
It's crazy because man, I feel we could talk about like Andre 3000 forever, but like the way he chooses songs and features is so fascinating. Because it's never just like, oh, classic hip hop, like, oh, this would be fall in line with my interest. Right. He picks new shit all the time. Definitely. Like he's on the Walk It Out remix when it was like hot, right? Yeah. Like you could. Oh, it's crazy. He's an amazing person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it.
Man, I don't think his hype's never gonna die.
But you know what? You know what people want to die? Lean. Says Ty Dolla $ign, who of all people has decided to declare that Lean is dead. And you know what? I think he's not wrong. You know, I feel like Lean should die. I just feel like I'm surprised it was Ty Dolla $ign who was the one that's gonna try to champion this movement. But no, Lean, it's problematic. People are really attributing. I mean, people attributed Yams' death to it. People are attributing Lil Wayne's recent health problems to it. So I mean, it's pretty fucked up. It's a fucked up thing. It's only has negative effects, and it's just one of those things. I remember when Lean first was popping with DJ Screw and all that in Houston.
Who died because of it. Yeah, right. R.I.P. DJ Screw.
And I'm like. I remember just being young and being how? The South is wilding, this is gonna die at some point. What year is this? What, mid 2000s?
2005, 2006?
Later 2000s.
2003?
This was when
I guess with DJ Screw and Chocolate Screwed becoming a relevant
This was when
thing.
The South was hot. So 2003, 2005.
Definitely. DJ Screw's
I was on an island.
So the South's coming up, and they're pretty right away being Lean is our drug of choice in the South. Houston and I was the South is wild, and you're doing what? And I'm just I thought it was gonna die, and boy, has Lean come back.
They're listening to music slowly? What the fuck is going on down there?
What's happening, dude?
Why are they slowing down the song to be 20 minutes?
And lo and behold, they have championed it into the mainstream with both Lean and Xanax. So.
Young Lean, I mean, man, Lean and Xans are I don't know, they're still the thing.
Wait, so sorry, so the dude who invented
DJ Screw is a big Lean boy.
So in theory, that also led to vaporwave, right? This whole movement of slowed down music.
I don't think vaporwave. I don't think vaporwave sound would have come out with DJ Screw.
Well, Chopped and Screwed was
a different
turning the BPM down by half,
and then also fucking it up. As you're fucking your mind up, you're holy shit! It's like listening to the song for the first time.
Do you think that was a version of internet music first starting and stuff early on?
Vaporwave's a whole separate.
No, I'm not talking about Vapor. I'm talking about internet movement.
Chopped and Screwed.
Chopped and Screwed was a really.
But it was pre-internet existing.
Okay, yeah, this was
so you said 2002, 2003, so I was internet kind of existed.
But then it did hit internet, and then we got people I mean, not DJ Screw anymore because he's gone, but we got Slim K, who's my actual favorite Chopped and Screwed mans now. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of people that are doing it, and they always shout out DJ Screw constantly.
The originator, yeah.
But I don't think Vaporwave would have existed without Chopped and Screwed existing as well.
Right.
Okay. I just thought it was interesting.
But yeah, that is an interesting connection I have never made. Shout out to DJ Screw for letting Vaporwave exist.
It's true because it did
it's not too crazy of an idea for somebody to randomly think of.
No, I like it. Yeah.
But
which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think Ty Dolla $ign advocating for Lean to die is what's gonna bring it to an end.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the end of it.
But I do feel at some point, man, we really gotta back off the Lean and Xanax.
During the Lean Xanax.
It'll affect you, man. I mean, it influences people. I think a lot of people did Lean without even knowing what they were doing. Hey.
And I mean, for the people who don't know, Lean is essentially
promethazine
stuff that you can't get over the counter.
It's like cough syrup. It's hard cough syrup that really just gets you imagine taking NyQuil times 10 times 50 times 100.
Yeah. And then,
but it really got kids drinking cough syrup. Not even actual promethazine Lean shit. Kids were drinking cough syrup.
Right.
And
and that's what it's done. So hopefully.
So the message I think we're trying to send here is that people should do Lean.
No.
Stop it.
Opposite.
What do you mean? Oh man, I've interpreted this all wrong.
Dang it.
No, I'm gonna just go do some Lean.
I get it, brother. I get it. You gotta slow down and just kick back.
Dude, sometimes you just gotta kick back. How am I gonna chill without Lean?
I get it, bro. That's what.
If it's no longer cool, what am I gonna do?
People really think that.
Go back to crack? What am I gonna do?
I don't know. Just go get the fucking ASAP Rocky vape pen and call it a day. Yeah. Really.
Vape pen? What am I, 12? Come on.
That's true. You just drink NyQuil like you're 12 instead.
Jeebus Christ.
It's funny as fuck.
Hey, man, you can't buy NyQuil unless you're 18.
But your mom has it.
That's true. My mom.
Your mom's not buying weed and putting it in the cabinets.
That's your mom.
I guess that's my mom.
Jesus Christ.
That's funny as fuck, though.
Well, this next topic we can't even just we can't do a silly.
Oh man, I'm not even happy anymore.
Silly intro into this one because this is the big news of the week. Obviously,
so
we've known that XXXTentacion has had allegations on him for some time for assaulting a pregnant woman, but we didn't really know the full detail. We just kind of knew it was out there, and there was a picture that surfaced around. But now we're finally getting the victim's story, and wow. Pitchfork recently released excerpts of her 2-hour deposition with police, and boy, does it detail some pretty graphic shit. So if you're not ready for this is the time to, hop out for a second.
Yeah.
But we're going to dive into some of this. I'll try to keep it I won't go into full details because it is really fucked up. You can read the full report online, but basically, it details the story of XXXTentacion meeting this girl at like some show at a concert, and they went on a date at a movie theater.
It's
a date, the classic movie theater date. And pretty quickly on, he starts showing signs of abuse, and it just escalates from crazy to just pure like demonic shit. I mean, making her choose from barbecue tools on whether or not, like which one she wants inserted inside her. I mean, there's strangulation, there's all kinds of just pretty irredeemable things that you just can't ignore. And it was really like a tough read and just pretty eye-opening stuff. So after kind of our, discussion before where we talked about Kodak Black and we were like, well, we, didn't really know what's going on in XXX's case. Now we know, and it's out there, and we've gotten now XXX's reaction to it, and I think that's kind of one of the things that's pissed me off the most, is he's really just like doubled down with not only saying like it's not me, but really just like insulting. Like people who have like even entertained the idea. He's just calling people haters and making a joke out of the whole situation. And I feel like I get it. Like if you're of the mindset that like you're young and you have these like wild accusations that you don't believe are true thrown on you, it's hard to just be like, man, I want to be serious and, rub these off. But you've gotten to a point now where, like, there's a deposition. Like, we're fully going into trial. This isn't just, like, she made a claim and, like, nothing's really happened. Like, you're going on trial and you could be put away for, like, a long time. So, like, you really need to, like, mature up and just, like, at least just for the people, address this seriously. Like, really make sure that we have a reason to believe you're innocent rather than just, kind of playing it off, calling us jokes, making, awful bad references jokes to the actual, like, thing that happened. It was just, like, really poor taste. And so that kind of disappointed me more so about it when I was just like, I don't know, like, this is fucked up, and I guess we're going to see what happens in the trial. But now I'm just like, it's horrible the way he's handling it.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. This one actually, like, I have a lot to say, just because, like, I'm just, like, staring at the fucking table right now in sadness. This actually affected me today in a sense that, like, man, I knew X was a bad man the whole time, but I just really didn't want it to be true. Like, because there was a legitimate point in life where, or in just, like, existence where we were not sure. We were, like, legitimately not sure. Like, maybe he's not a bad guy. And I just wanted to, like, wait for like real evidence to come out, and I'm not someone who wants to like sympathize with abusers by any means at all. It's the last thing I want to do, but I really love this guy's music. I think of this year, if I had to say the most interesting, exciting artist I've listened to, I would say it's him. And that's my personal opinion, and that's how it is. His art, as far as music goes, is fucking incredible and next level. I felt like I found out Santa Claus doesn't exist today. Just because, like, I really actually dug into his experience and his life and who he the fuck is. And he's a bad man. And as someone who really appreciates his music, it's ruined. And I'm really sad about that. Because, like, come on, man. Like, Jesus, you got so much talent. Quit being such a shitty person. Yeah. Like, it was just so fucking sad because I really just wanted to believe, like, yeah, there's still good things in the world, but no, X is, like, a really bad man. And bringing up, like, exactly what you're talking about, he's not addressing the fact that he is being accused as a domestic abuser. He's not addressing it in any sort of, like, realistic, actually, like, human way. For example, last night on Instagram stories, before he dropped his Look at Me video, which is a whole nother thing, he was going on for an actual, like, 5 minutes with his grills in, girls giggling in the background, saying things like, quote unquote, and this is fucked up. He said, like, to people who think I'm a domestic abuser, come over, I'm gonna domestically abuse that pussy. And I'm like, man, come on, brother.
Like, it's not how you address this situation.
Like, fucked up. And then, like, the video came out today, and this was the thing that really, like, actually, as an ex-bandwagon stan, I legitimately just took all my baggage and jumped off the bandwagon. I can't support that man in the slightest. Should I get into the Look at Me video real quick?
Look at Me video.
Mans comes out with the Look at Me video, his big song, the one that people know him from, the one that everyone finds out who X is through. He comes out with the Look at Me video. I'm like, all right, let's see this, because I still like him at this point. I haven't really looked into his story. I look into it right after this video. He comes out with the Look at Me video. Starts off with some goofy-ass fuck shit that seems like a Tyler parody video. Does the first, like, verse of the song. Once it cuts to the chorus, song completely cuts. He bait and switches everybody. Goes into some, like, political shit.
It's one of his old SoundCloud songs. It's a song that's out there.
It's been a while. Riot, yeah. Right? Is it Riot?
Yeah, I think it's Riot.
So, like, he comes out with one of his political songs right after his meme song, like, gets to the part where it gets good. So he goes, even if the video was Look at Me and it was him in that classroom like the video started, then it still sucked. But he cuts at the chorus, cuts to a shot of him as well as two other men hanging in a tree. And then he just starts talking about, like, political race issues. But he refers to things just in the weirdest fucking sense. For example, referring to, like, the Ferguson protests. He calls them the Ferguson riots. And rhetorically, like, you sound like an alt-right fuckboy on Twitter. Like, there was some real legitimate things happening. And he's coming at it with, like, almost they're a bunch of thugs approach. And I just felt like it was disgusting. From a man who's trying to come from a world of 100% ignorant rap, where people are just moshing like crazy and going nuts, to switch up into J. Cole consciousness, trying to talk about race in the Look at Me video, and then doing it wrong, ending the video with hanging like a 5-year-old white kid.
Well, and then there's, like, his poem, too.
And then he fucking, as soon as he finishes hanging a white kid, he pulls up his iPhone notes and just reads his thoughts about, like, oh, here's my thoughts on race, even though, like, I'm telling everyone to be a better person, but at the end of the day, I'm a shitty man myself. Referencing a book a lot of people may have read, the Bible. Talking about taking the plank out of your own eye, this man's got to do that. Because he's telling everyone in the world to, like, get better while still being a shit boy himself. And, like, in the video where he's reading from his iPhone notes, he's like, regardless of your skin color, you're allowed to have an opinion. And my opinion is that video fucking sucks and fuck X. As a used-to-be stan. Very disappointed, legitimately sad. I wish he didn't suck so much ass. And that's all I gotta say.
Damn, you laid it out, Enrique. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I'm a huge fan now.
Yeah, oh god, wow.
Oh god.
Before I was on the fence. Right.
Oh,
now
Jesus
I love him.
Christ.
No. That's not what I think. Well, there are... I'll give... I like... mostly agree with Austin.
Right.
There's just certain things about the Look at Me video that I think I can appreciate to an extent, which I feel like almost like those type of like conscious songs or whatnot always appeal to the same demographic. So if you insert a song like that, even if it was wrong, like it sucks that is.
I love the idea of it.
And in theory, that's like a really cool thing, right? Like Eminem did it when he did like the live thing where he just like, all right, let me talk about something real,
right? And
it's just like within like a pop fun song,
right?
And by doing that, like people who wouldn't initially be like, I don't give a fuck, whatever, J. Cole, Kendrick, conscious bullshit, whatever, that they'll end up listening to it and they might pay attention. They might, I don't know whether or not they'll be like, oh wow, this is something I care about, but I mean, they'll have, I guess, an idea of like what their artists that they enjoy are interested in or what's affecting them, right? So I feel like almost like it sucks. X is a shitty person. Like that's obvious. But I would say I do commend. I just like the fact that he's talking about this type of stuff as the type of artist he is and who he appeals to, which is the youth, is kind of cool. I just like fucking a low bar, right. But at least for me, I was just like, wow. So I feel like that this, for at least the people who would think like, wow, okay, this is something maybe I should care about,
right?
And maybe if the message is perhaps a little like muddled and not as clear as it probably should be,
right?
But I think it is kind of cool that he tried at least. I think I'll give him that as a person who's not an X fan. But yeah, he's a shitty person. That's what I'm feeling. I think as like a person who's not a fan, when I saw that, I was like, all right, this is something that's like hard to do,
right?
And like you're actually affecting your career by doing something like this. Even though I don't know, it's like it's a weird thing where it's like it can be popular with certain people, but not. Like I don't know where he falls within his audience, but I think at least to me, it just seems like most of the audience wouldn't really give a fuck,
right?
They'd be like, no matter who they were, they would be like, oh, I just want to fucking have a good time. Like, or I'm just so sad in my own feelings, I don't want to think about shit like that right now. But yeah, I think because he's addressing something like that, I think it's so bare minimum at the same time.
That's what I feel.
But I'm giving credit, at least more so than I expected him to.
Yeah, basically. I love the idea of it.
Looking at the music video, because in terms of the allegations and the way he's handled it, I feel a very specific way.
Definitely.
And I can't really give him.
Also, I just like another thing. He's like 19, right?
Right.
Yeah. And he did a like I'm pretty sure like just like if I looked at his it's not just like him. Mm-hmm. Like I was just looking at history of just like he's a dude who just like fights people and just like the amount of things he's done before in concerts. Like, it doesn't seem out of the reality of that, right? So, like, man, it's just, like, you can't condone it.
Right. That's what I'm getting. Like, I can't condone the allegations and, like, the way he's handled it. In terms of breaking down the music video, I'm leaning a little more towards Enrique on this in terms of, like, I think there's a lot of, like, interesting things he presents, but it's coming from, like, a person who he himself is problematic, and that shines through in the way he, like, tells the story. So it's, like, obviously, like, calling the Ferguson protests riots, not the way you should word that. But there's, like, looking at the poem, like, he makes some, like, pretty accurate and, like, well-made states about, like, supremacy and how white supremacists act and why they shouldn't act that way.
Totally.
But then he kind of, like, muddles it by, he, like, sneaks, I don't know if you caught it, but he sneaks in some, like, black people do this too stuff where he's like, white or black, don't be a supremacist. And I'm like, you don't have to, like, put it like that. And he'll say, like, there's, like, a part where he's listing, like, the Emmett Till and, like, all these other examples, and then he does, like, there's a black on white killing, and I'm like, again, you're, like, doing this, like, black people do this too now. Like, you're doing the, like, all lives matter thing, and I'm like, it's, like, a weird thing that he, like, sneaks in there. So, like, but, like, there are, like I said, there are some good points, and, like, it is good to, like, remind, you know, the younger generation that things like Emmett Till happened not that long ago, and, like, these things are, like, real, and then white supremacy is a terrible thing that's, like, infecting our society, and, you know, the younger generation, he has, like, that good point where he's, like, you being a white supremacist and passing that on to, like, your kids and ruining their lives. So, like, so there's, like, good points, but I think because he's just, like, a problematic person who's obviously not, you know, didn't go to a liberal arts school and got woke about a lot of things, that shines through, and that's, like,
real.
I mean, he's also 19.
Yeah. And he's young. There's, like, things he has to learn.
Totally.
It's like, you can't condone it, but at the same time, it's just like, dude, he's 19. Like, how is he going to phrase this shit right?
Right. You're right.
Like, I don't think in his, like, arsenal vocabulary, perhaps, he doesn't have the sensitivity in order to phrase things correctly. Right? Absolutely. Like, if these allegations were not out, I would
be way less harsh on this video.
Absolutely.
If these allegations were out, which I think is my point.
I'd be like, even if it's like you could sign him as right as someone else, like, dude, it's like he doesn't know, like, he's just saying those things. This is how it was reported.
Right.
Right. So he's just gonna talk about them like that. He's not. He's not thinking. He's not thinking about them critically, like in terms of like a media sense. He's 19.
Right.
He's a big dude, but he's not gonna like. I don't know. It's like he's young, and I think that is something that is important to do.
Right.
Definitely.
And if like these allegations weren't happening, I would defend.
I would definitely be less.
I would defend his opinions and whatnot. I'd probably be more inclined to be like, wow, this is really crazy. They did this. But the fact that they came like literally like hand in
day
hand,
after
the Instagram
it's just really
story. Soured the experience,
right?
For
absolutely,
big time.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with a lot of that. Like, I think his age is a major factor. I'm thinking about like myself at 19. I couldn't talk about issues like this eloquently by any means.
Yeah.
But
Tyler
like,
at 19,
Tyler
still
at 19
dropping
still
the F slurs.
Yeah, no, totally. And I feel like this is one of the things I loved about X was he saw the rules of the game and broke them consistently with the XXL freestyle where he just stopped the song and just did shit. As an idea and as a concept, this video was sick because he gave the people a hype song and said, hey, wake the fuck up. Here's a thing that you should be caring about way more than look at me.
Right.
But the way he went about it and executed it with like some also, weird shit.
Like look at me, like in a way when he does that, he's like, look at me, already has enough views. Like, do I really make a video? So like I feel like that's almost like the logic behind it.
Definitely. So, I also think he's trying to stray away from Look at Me heavily because when you get trapped in your meme song, like you get fucked. So I think
very smart move, you're right.
He was trying to get out of the meme song era and be like, wow, look, I got a legitimate video. But it was just weird seeing like the least woke man try to be woke.
Right. And it just sucks that it's coming up right after these allegations.
Exactly. So as far as like the video as an idea, fuck yeah. Bait and switch the people. Hit them with some knowledge. But you're not a teacher. You're someone who's still learning. And, man, I wish it could have been better. I agree I would have been significantly less harsh if these allegations weren't out there. But I don't think you can tell the world to be less shitty if you're a shitty person yourself.
Yeah, if you're dealing with horrible allegations against you and dealing with those allegations very poorly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. Right now, I'm kind of like, after this video, I'm kind of off the like bandwagon for a while. We'll see. Unless, boy, oh boy, this October 5th trial, he proves me wrong yet again, and they somehow convince me that this girl is the most genius liar of all time. It's not looking good.
And most dedicated.
Yeah. Because the fact it's one to like have this lie and like put it out there and never drop it, but she's taken it to the deposition process, right? Like this is a real thing now. It's not like this is happening. It's not just
this
like
isn't a
it's not just like a rumor or a false claim being put against you. Because like to put into perspective with Tekashi 6ix9ine and even more bigger Freddie Gibbs.
Huge.
Freddie Gibbs, that doesn't get to the deposition stage. Like that doesn't get into like big. That got to like, oh, this is what happened. All right, you're gone. Like they had him in holding. The legal system's fucked, and he had to be in jail while they finally got to the court proceedings, which is where like X is at right now. And they just dropped it. They were like, oh, there's not a real case here. But now they're going to X's thing, and they're apparently still at the point where they're like, there's still a case here. So yeah. It's very real. It's happening.
Yeah, as far as like in Freddie Gibbs' case, like I think there's also facts like people reporting like, oh yeah, he was here.
Yeah.
Like he was that, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And it seems like there's a lot of evidence backing up that. Also the fact that she said it was a dream.
Right.
And like there's
you find out the more you found out about like what happened, you're just like, okay, this didn't happen, and
it's just proven. Like a really horrible inconvenience.
Right.
The fact that like something like that can happen because then like it always like makes everyone question anything happened later on.
Right.
But like for a lot of time, if you look up with Freddie Gibbs, like what happened to him, it's just like it's very hard to believe.
Right.
It's very hard to decide on her side.
Yeah, it's very hard to be on like the person who called it side. Like it's
but then on XX side, reading it was very hard not to be
you
have to be more
girl.
pro on her side.
Damn.
So we'll see what happens come October 5th. But now we've hit some heavy subjects here, but it's time to get to our album review of the night.
Yeah. So I was born 1993.
Me too.
-1 is 1992.
Ooh.
Great transition. Speaking of birthdays, happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. I think I mentioned at the beginning.
I know, I just want to say it again.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think the people got to know.
Hey, yeah, high five.
Woo! That was spicy.
That was a good one.
I like it.
So yeah, 1992.
Deluxe.
Which is a very, very important thing to know.
It is.
Because last year, Princess Nokia released her mixtape titled 1992, a 9-track mixtape. And now we're getting the deluxe version.
Real quick roll call here. Who listened to that? I know me and Mark. Actually, just asking Austin.
I saw her live. I didn't listen to it. I've listened to her shit like on shuffle. I didn't do a full listen through, but I've listened to her quite a lot. I've seen her live. Like,
did you have? Okay, so me and Mark did this. We cheated a little bit. I talked with them a little bit about it. And the fact that this album is literally just the mixtape plus 8 songs.
Yes, because I've heard Katana live, and I was like, why is this on here?
Yeah. It's really weird.
Right.
I feel like that's the major point of discussion. I don't know. If you guys don't know Princess Nokia, she's good. You should check her out. I think that's an end point here. Mm-hmm. As a fan, it's weird. Just being where we're at.
As a fan, it's a very complicated situation, especially for me, because I came into 1992. I'll just give you my full breakdown of Princess Nokia, right? Princess Nokia came into my life via Tumblr. I saw a picture of like the most Tumblr like thing that could come across to me is a song called Dragons. It featured the word dragons over a picture of Shenron from Dragon Ball Z. Wow. And of course my nerdy ass was like, click. And it ended up being this like beautiful like singing song where she sounds eerily similar to Janelle Monáe over like a drum and bass beat. And I was like, whoa, this is like crazy. And it was just like a song that got stuck in my head for a while. And then re-listening to it, I went to the music video and I was like, what? As I realized very quickly, in the music video is Wiki, and they're kissing each other, and I quickly realized that, oh, this is Wiki's girlfriend. And then from there, it went on to just like being kind of interested in, but her album at the time was an album called Metallic Butterfly, and it was more of the singy stuff, and sonically it was kind of everywhere, and I didn't know what to think. Coming to later, I find out that she used to rap under the name Wavy Spice, but that got changed to be a copyright infringement.
Yeah, in which she was also on So It Goes on a song.
Yes, and then
that's where I know her from.
Right, and so I'm like, oh, I'm really curious about this.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that territory.
And so I'm really curious about her, and then she comes out with 1992, and there's a noticeable difference, I think. You know, being with Wiki and really getting that Wiki school of rap, being able to help her out, she flourishes. We start to hear more personal tracks. We get to know more of who she is. She's rapping better. In 1992, I thought, like, the first 9 tracks, you get this good mixture of, like, personal stuff about my fucked up upbringing. Because her story is very tragic.
Yeah.
And then hype tracks. You know, you get songs like Tomboy, good anthem tracks for, you know, the kind ladies to get moshing in the ring and just good stuff. And then now she re-releases 1992 Deluxe, and you get 8 tracks after what's already feels like a complete album, to be honest, because it was. And it's just kind of like a mixed bag. I get like Goth Girl, which was kind of... Goth Girl was an interesting experience for me because at first I didn't really like it because it just sounded like her doing like a Tyler circa Bastard voice. That's and I was really like, this is jarring and weird and you're a goth, blah. And so I was just kind of like, man. But then like the second time I was able to hear more lyrics and hear her talk about, it's more about her experience with her abusive foster mother. And I was like, all right, I can ignore this like flow that sounds way too similar to something else to me. And I was able to appreciate it. But then ignoring like Goth Girl, then the rest of the songs, I was like, these are all just kind of like not as good versions of your other songs on this album. And I mean, some of them are kind of hype. The lyrics aren't as tight as the other 9 songs, so it's just kind of like frustrating because she's also
for one.
Yes, that's true. Although, are you thinking of the ABCs of New York? I realize that's on the 1992.
Oh, that is on 1992?
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Because then I was like, oh, shit. Like, the one song I was going to really give her credit for was on 1992.
That's the best, like, rapping.
Yeah, she has a song that's on the original 1992 called The ABCs of New York. Incredible song. Paints this vivid picture of New York. Probably her best, like, lyrical raps. Great beat. And it's just an amazing song. But it's on the like normal part of 1992, but on the deluxe side there's just kind of like there's Goat, which is like an alright banger. It's not as good as her other bangers. There's Flavor that's okay, and then like the last song is the Pizza Hut, or the, what is it, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut, man. And like, that's how the album ends. Like that's the note the now her official debut ends, and so that kind of just I don't know. It puts like a sour taste in my mouth just because I'm like, you had this.
So it's her first album.
It's her first album now.
Yeah, and
as opposed to like her really good mixtape that she had that's now kind of sullied because there's like 8 more tracks after that aren't as good in my opinion.
What's the difference between real question? What's the difference between this and the Booty Tape? Because they both have a shitload of songs that have previously been out for a long time.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Booty Tape, he seems like he got away with that somehow.
Yeah.
What's different here?
Well, no, here's because she released a little mixtape with 9 songs, and then she did deluxe after it. And then
so there's like an 8-part of it that's like all.
That's not just like half of it. It's 9 songs. Yeah. I think it's 17 songs total. Mm-hmm. Like 9 songs in a row are like the same
so it's literally weird because there's like the 1992 part that's the same track list and then there's 8 new songs under it.
If she released this as a mixtape, I think it would be like, alright, she just add some more new songs. Mm-hmm. Like there's some B-sides if I like the album I could listen to. But the fact that it came out as like an official like this is the new album that's supposed to define her, it's weird.
Because it's like an album that does define her, and then 8 bonus tracks.
So it's the labeling of it having been a mixtape rather than having been a bunch of singles.
Well, no,
because like in the same order.
Because like the Booty Tape, right? We've never gotten a project from Ugly God, right?
And like half of it is
stuff we've heard.
So same situation, but this time instead of mixing them up on shuffle, she just put them in the same order and added on, similar to like a living breathing album like Life of Pablo kind of.
It'd be like if we got the Booty Tape. And then he was like, all right, here's the Booty album, and it's the Booty Tape.
It's the Booty Deluxe,
8 more songs.
And then it's just 8 more songs.
Okay.
Like, so it's just like the same track list as the Booty Tape.
That's super fair.
And then
trying to understand.
8 new songs. So it's just like this it's like an even more unprecedented thing than the Booty Tape.
Oh, totally, you're right.
Because you're just like, all right, here's your album, and then you tacked it on like more. It's like she Kanye'd it. She like added songs to an album that already existed. And then just added like 8 more tracks later.
But Kanye only added like 1 song.
Yeah.
So
in Kanye's defense, he only added.
Speaking like strategically, in a world of streaming and the amount of stream listens you get actually matters as far as awards and literally everything. Do you feel like this was a strategic play to have more songs on an album, specifically with a lot of the songs guaranteed going to be hits because people are going to listen to them anyway?
Maybe
because now that you have 17 songs, that's way better than if she just put out 8 new ones. She's gonna have significantly better chances of ranking as like an artist on hip hop charts.
Yeah, I think
that's true.
And we also know the first 8 are good.
I still think she's good. Like that's
totally
like not a problem. I feel like, but as like if I were to review it critically, like as a fan, it's just like a weird experience.
Yeah.
As opposed like in terms of like a new fan, I'm sure it's sick. Like you're like, wow, this is that was great music. Like,
because it's weird, because like sometimes you have like the argument where you're like, man, like this album would be better if it was like shorter, or like if they just cut some stuff. And it's like, well, they literally did. Like you can literally just listen to 1992, the regular version, and you get exactly what you wanted.
And I think that's
it's like a more complete album. And then in this case, you just have like these 8 mixed bag songs, and then
some of them pretty good, some are okay.
Yeah,
but I feel like as a whole, I fall in the same territory where how I felt by 1992, which I liked. I thought it was really cool. I think she makes really great music. She's a great voice to have today. Very distinct, very just herself.
Right.
More so like to like a fucking. I don't even know how to describe it. She's herself, like no censoring.
Right.
Yeah.
At all.
I love it.
It's so honest and so like to the point about everything about herself. Like, contradictions including things that don't even make sense. But she like everything's her though.
Yeah.
At the same time, right? Even though like her like thought, like perhaps her like beliefs and stuff can contradict each other, but it's all like feels
that's
very
real though.
Yeah.
Like,
feels it feels very genuine and great. I guess like in terms of like my criticisms are just like. I sometimes just felt like her rapping was a little too simplistic. Perhaps sometimes I was just like, I was a little like redundant, kind of like I wish you'd switch things up a little more. Or sometimes she would, but it'd be like way later. And I felt like all the songs are still good. I just wish she would evolve. And perhaps like in my head while I was listening to the original mixtape was, hey, maybe she might like evolve and fix this in the next album. But the next album was just the same album again. So
with 8 more tracks.
So I'm just like, oh, okay. All right then. But like, yeah, I just wish. I think she has a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see her grow. And I want her to release new music in a new album, new context for me to see her evolve, in which I do not see that because it's the same album.
Yeah, because I was kind of cheated.
Basically. Yeah, I feel like I was just kind of cheated. I think she's very talented. She's great. It was like as a fan, like I think she's awesome. I want to see her get better, but I'm not. I didn't get to see it as a fan. Right. She still makes good music. I'm still gonna follow her. Like it just falls within that territory, I guess.
Yeah.
Of just being even like, okay, this is like a director's cut. Like, or like something
extended
like that.
edition.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of cool. It's like some of these I don't like as much, but I think another thing I always have is like some of her voices, perhaps, or like a little bit like I wish you'd tone it down a little bit, or like it just sounded like goofy to me sometimes. I don't know whether or not doing it more will make it sound more real, but like sometimes I was like, this is a little like bordering on like goofy, where I'm not. I can take this, but then like the lyrical stuff, like even though like I thought like. Perhaps sometimes like the flow itself was like redundant.
Right.
That I would always bring in because it was so honest and so like real and like she would still sound good. It was just like it was just a very nitpicky type thing with me. It's just like sometimes I would hear a voice and be like, this sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Like.
Because that was my thing. Was she kind of sounds like what I'll call a flow chameleon, where she just sounds like she's just taking other flows and trying to make it her own. But there's just
such a good term.
But it's kind of this point where like. I mean, I don't want to say her lyricism is just, like, not at that level. But there's just, like, a noticeable difference where, like, she has a song where she's telling a story about her life or, like, about New York. And I can feel like I'm cool with the lyricism. But every time she does, like, a hype track or she does, like, a song where she's sounding like someone else, I notice, like, the simplistic lyrics or, like, the bad lyrics.
I think you're exactly right.
Because, like, with the Green Line or, like, a ABCs of New York or a Saggy Down in Milwaukee, I'm like, this is just really good. Like, I enjoy this. But there's, like, parts in like Tomboys where she'll have like, is that the one where she has the Blues Clues or stuff like that? Like they'll just be like with those ones where she's clearly like mimicking like the popular sounds of right now. I notice like the bad lines far more.
Yeah.
And I think that's like one thing I want her to like work on is just kind of like forming her, like striving at what she's good at and just like staying.
Then again, like
forming that.
I mean, we didn't have a podcast then, so I guess it's less redundant for us.
That's true.
But these are the same criticisms we would have given to 1992. Right. So like, it's just like it just falls in such a weird ground.
It's just kind of frustrating where it was like, this is how I felt about the album a year ago because this was the album a year ago.
This is really fun you have that perspective because I've heard a lot of these songs on this album as singles. I didn't listen to the tape as a whole. Mm-hmm. This is my first time listening to it as like a body of work because I've heard Katana, I've heard a lot of the other songs, but to actually like hear it in this manner, like I've seen her live at this point and I really enjoyed her performance. I thought she was really good. But this was my first time actually sitting down and being like, all right, an album or a mixtape in full by Princess Nokia. And without any sort of like knowing that a lot of these, I mean, I knew a lot of them existed before, but I didn't realize the extent of how it was put out. I loved this. I thought it was really fucking good. Starting off the Bart Simpson song, I hadn't heard that one before. And that's an easy like quick way to my heart. I love Bart Simpson and all that shit. Really fucking got me. I thought this was a really, really fun album by a really, really good person. And just, like, bringing in her live performance as, like, a part of it, she was very much about, like, hey, she, like, made an announcement. She's like, all right, this next song, girls who, like, are afraid to mosh because shitty dudes, don't let that happen. Fucking go mosh, and if you see a shitty dude, knock his ass on the floor. I was like, damn, fuck yeah. Because, like, as someone who loves to mosh and get knocked around, like, if I was a girl, I'd want to do that shit too, but you have to worry about gropers and fucking shitty people. And she, like, called that shit out. There was one dude at the show who, like, I don't know what he did, but he did something wrong. She literally pointed at him and was like, get this guy out. And everyone was like, boo! Like, everyone booed the shit out of this bad person. And I was like, wow, when has that ever happened at a hip-hop show?
Yeah, she doesn't fuck... I mean, this is coming from the person who got put in the news because... I don't know, some white dude was talking spicy, and she dumped him out.
Good!
She was just like, that's bull!
Good! I'm just... Man, in a world...
She is for the culture, for sure.
In, like, a hip-hop world where, like, females are generally, a lot of the time, not invited to the table, she goes, hey, I'm at the table, and anyone who sucks, get the fuck out of here. I love that about her. I thought this album was fucking actually fire.
And you need someone to like that.
We
like,
need that shit.
I mean, it exists before with Nicki Minaj.
No, totally.
You get people to name.
But you don't hear Nicki on stage being like, hey, dudes and girls, knock out anyone who's a fuckboy. Yeah. Like... She's directly being like, hey, no time for fuck shit. This is a girl on stage. Let the girls mosh too.
I'm just saying.
I was like, wow.
I think we should just always have more, no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
totally.
it should just more.
Because that is a whole nother issue.
I want female rappers to be a thing.
Female artists are always put in contention with each other.
Right.
Where there's only there can only be one hot female artist, so
it's,
duke it out with each other.
Cardi B ruined Nicki.
Yeah.
No, they can both exist.
There can be 5 top Kendrick, Cole, Kanye, but there's only
room for
once
one.
you have Nicki, it's there's either Nicki or Beyonce. Everyone else needs to take a seat, and so we do need to have this culture of just there's 5 hot female artists, there's 10 hot female artists right now. Shout outs to all of them doing their different things for sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of my review, my final thoughts on it, basically how I feel about this is, look, when 1992 came out, I thought it was really good. There's a clear cohesion between all the songs, a good sound. We get a good mix of mosh songs and learning about Princess Nokia's story. And coming from where her music has been in the past, I was like, wow, she's on to something. Can't wait. There's, a little nicks every here, little issues I have here and there, but all in all, a solid debut. Can't wait to see where she goes from here. So I give 1992 a cool. As far as the deluxe part, considering that it still feels to me after hearing 1992 that the album ends after ABCs of New York. The rest of it's just kind of
part 2.
Yeah, I was these are some good, but there's not that same level of cohesion with it. There's only one song that tells her story. The rest of it kind of sounds Flo Chameleon-y, and I'm just kind of these are kind of cool songs, but I lose the cohesion, I guess, at a very specific point. And so the deluxe half of the album I give more of an I, but I'll give it that.
Fair. Enrique?
I'd give it the exact same review as Mark. I thought the original was I think I'd give it a high to low cool. I was there's definitely a lot of potential. I think she's great, and I think she's important, and I want more of her. I want her to improve. And it's just personally just kind of damn, I wanted more. I know it's only been a year. 1992 came out a year ago. So coming out with a new album in a year is hard.
Right.
It takes 2-3 years. But as an official album, me seeing that, I get excited. I'm wow, a cool, a whole new thing, new songs. So yeah, and also the fact that it wasn't as coherent as Mark said. I was damn. So it feels almost it's I don't want to hold it against her because I want her to be successful. Right. I want her to have everything. But I fall same time I'm it's a low to okay with the new songs. But I still I think 1992 you should totally check out. So I think
you're going to if you listen to Deluxe.
Yeah, you're gonna listen to the first 8 tracks, but it just felt as a more complete. Oh, this is great. If you want more, listen to the 8 other songs in Deluxe if you want. But you don't have to listen to Deluxe. You can just listen to 1992 if you want. That's fine.
But then I'm annoyed because 1992 is taken down now. It's hard to find.
Yeah, because they hit it.
The album
because they hit it. That's so crazy too. Because I remember I was trying to look it up as I was listening to it. And I didn't download. I had it before, and it was gone on my computer. Not that I deleted it. I just lost it. And I was just wow. I think I've heard every single one of these songs. I was track 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And I was just let me check out that mixtape. Is this just deluxe, meaning the original one? Even though I was all right, let me check that out.
Yeah.
And looking for the original mixtape, it was disappeared.
Yeah, it took me a second. I had to find some random mixtape website I've never heard of.
Yeah, they hit it.
But is it hidden if it's a quote apparently the exact same thing as Deluxe 92?
It's just
it's just renamed.
Well, it's just no 1992. You can you try to look it up by itself as a mixtape that you would have downloaded 6 months ago,
and it would have just been this.
Right? Yeah, I get that.
You were just downloading,
but it's not gone. It's literally still there with more.
But then there's an ending. You get this was all a good coherent sound.
I think we're talking more by the SEO type finding perspective.
Right. Oh yeah, and you can't find it.
So then they fucking buried it, the mixtape, and then they put out the deluxe for people to buy so she can make money, right? So but if I went and just downloaded the free mixtape, I'd get half the album for free, but also a more complete artistic kind of experience for me and Mark.
Totally.
So I think that's our point.
No, I get that.
It's not. Whether or not you can experience it through Apple Music or Spotify and downloading it, either way you could, but it's just I guess it's just I don't think that anything I've ever experienced has been this. Like, this is such a specific, like, new age thing.
Artists are getting weird with how they release their first.
And I've never seen this. Like,
so
is it smart to do something like this?
I think yes.
Yeah, it could be.
So, quick question. So, before I rate it, and I'm ready to go with that, would you rather, in a world where you want Princess Nokia to succeed, would you rather have put out the last, 8 tracks, all the new stuff as an album, and then everyone who's hearing this for the first time because it's an album never hears the first part? Would you rather put out all of this new shit and then all of the people that haven't heard it never hear the first half, like me? Because if this would have come out, this would have been my first album listening, and I would have missed the entirety of '92.
But that's like I'll take this one. That's like 2 things, right? So like, one, that would be weird if she released all the 8 new songs and called it 1992.
Right, but if it was a different title.
Right. So then it would be then it would just be like kind of your problem where you'd be like,
no one ever hears the original.
That would just be like all these people are like hearing, this like new Tyler song, but they don't know about Bastard.
Exactly.
It would just be like,
you're right.
Just be like, that's just like on y'all for not hearing this really good mixtape.
Nailed it.
So it's like still kind of just like, I mean, I don't know. Like, she could have just made, these new songs like her own thing, or just like a mixtape, or just made 1992 her debut album. It's just like a weird political thing where like she had to have a new debut because she's signed
it's a political
to a
thing,
and she just was like, all right, well, I'll just take 1992, and I can't now call a mixtape an album,
right? That's
so I'll just like add some stuff and call it 1992 Deluxe. But then it's like kind of rushed because you're just like, I had to make some quick songs to put at the end of this already complete project, and that's why it's like weird for me,
upsetting
because I'm just like, all right, like you had a really good project and now you had to like add stuff to it so it doesn't have the same level of cohesion as this other project did.
Yeah, no, you broke that down really well.
I think another thing I think to consider is like, I completely understand her decisions of making this. In the modern age, like, for you, like the fact it's a debut album, people are going to listen to it. She thought her original project was great. She was like, well, people don't listen to it. So if I release it as a debut, people are going to listen to it. Right? And it makes sense that you re-release it. But I think at the same time, as a fan, I think that's why I kind of felt like at the beginning I kind of like describe this. Like, as a fan, it's weird.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's just my point. It's
Definitely
just like, just as a fan, you're just like, all right, it makes sense because you call it deluxe. That makes sense.
Get more fans.
I mean, at the same time, describing it, like, take out debut album just like out of it. Deluxe makes sense. A year later, 5 more songs, cool. That sounds neat.
Right.
It's just the fact. I don't know whether it's the media. I don't know was it the political decision or whatnot. But the fact that when someone says debut album, you have an expectation.
Right.
And I think that we always fall here.
We keep falling into this trap
Because we exist in like a very an era where it's very difficult to categorize both genre and like what type of thing is. Yeah. So it's weird, and it's just like it's a difficult thing to describe. And so I think the fact that we both said, hey, we still like the original thing a lot. This new thing is good too, but there's some new songs, and it's cool. And I feel like at the same time we're giving her that like that push by saying, hey, she's still good. So
totally.
We're not hating. I feel like if we outright were like, this fucking
you weren't hating,
yeah. I feel like if we came out being like, this fucking sucks, she just did the same shit again. Yeah. We're like, I think both me and Mark get why she did it.
Right.
It's not like I'm saying like she shouldn't have ever done this. It's like I don't get it. Why would she do this? No. I'm just saying, hey, as a fan, it's weird. But I get it, and these new songs are okay. They're like B-sides. There's some good ones so that could be an A-sides, but maybe they didn't fit in the album. But yeah, she's talented and support her.
Well, I'm gonna give the review here.
That's
Final thoughts.
It.
I'm gonna say I really wanted to give it potentially my first Mondo Cool.
Right.
I thought it was so sick. Like, I really, really fucked with this album a lot.
I think you can give it. I don't think...
But I'm not going to.
Oh, but I think from your experience, that's all you know, and I think that's a fair experience. Right. Because she based releasing it on that.
Right, and I haven't finished, because that's not even it. Like, that's not even really it.
Oh, sorry.
Totally, it's all good. I mean, so I really wanted to give it a Mondo Cool, but it's interesting to hear the whole backstory now, coming in completely ignorant to this, podcast on how this was released. My biggest problem was like, wow, it was really, really solid, and then it just kept going.
Yeah.
And like that's really like kind of what happened. I mean, now that I actually understand, that makes sense. So I'm gonna end up giving it a cool. But my big thing was like, this shit's so long. Like it started off so good, and it's so good, and it continues to be good. But it felt like 2 albums, and wow, come to find out, that's actually what happened. So it's actually really incredible to find out the backstory, and I give it a cool.
Oh yeah.
And this has been Mondo Cool.
You're damn right, ladies and gentlemen. We got through this powerhouse of an episode.
2 hour.
Mondo Cool, episode 9. Thanks for coming in, people. We're live on Twitch every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Come through. We got emotes that we're going to edit. PST. Today is, what is it?
September 12th, 19...
It's only 2:05 in the morning
Enrique's
for you East
birthday. Yeah. But make sure you save the date. You know the date. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.
I just said my birthday for no reason.
You gotta.
Birthday. You gotta let the people know.
Birthday, cool.
Birthday, cool.
Word. Well, thanks for listening, folks.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We love you.
And we'll see you next week.
Stay cool. Just kidding, it's the post-game show.
Word.